Welcome to our video where we take a closer look at the internal dynamics that drive Wendy's International LLC. Wendy's is a global fast food brand known for its fresh, never frozen square beef patties, iconic frosty desserts, and bold, quality-driven approach. Let's talk about Wendy's mission: to uphold and promote the highest standards of quality, integrity, and responsibility in our products, services, and relationships with our employees, customers, communities, and partners. It paints a clear picture of the brand's ethical foundation. It looks to the future by prioritizing long-term relationships and is focused on quality and integrity. It is also memorable, especially in how it links values with action. However, it is not very flexible, leaving little room for market adoption. It is also not easily achievable, given the broad and idealistic nature, and it doesn't explain why this path makes good business sense. Let's look at Wendy's vision: to be the quality leader in everything we do. It is clear, future-oriented, and focused. It's also memorable in its simplicity. However, it is not very flexible. Leadership in everything may not be realistic, and it is not measurable or achievable in practical terms. It lacks rationale for why this direction leads to success. What we can suggest is to reframe it to include how Wendy's will lead, may it be through sustainability, customer satisfaction, or menu innovation. Let's now proceed to Wendy's guiding values. First is quality is our recipe. This value is front and center, even in their logo. Wendy's demonstrates this value through its commitment to using fresh, never frozen beef in their hamburgers in the contiguous US, Alaska, and Canada. Next is do the right thing. Wendy's emphasizes integrity as a core value. The company has a code of conduct that outlines expected ethical behavior for employees and directors, emphasizing honesty and compliance with laws. Next is treat people with respect. Wendy's is committed to creating an inclusive environment where all employees feel engaged. They focus on education, training, recruitment, hiring, talent development, and retention to support this culture. Next is profit means growth. This value is inherently demonstrated through Wendy's ongoing efforts to expand its business. This includes seeking new franchise owners to grow their global presence, focusing on strategic growth initiatives, and aiming to become the world's most thriving and beloved restaurant brand. Lastly is give something back. Wendy's has a long-standing commitment to community involvement, most notably through the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption. This foundation is dedicated to finding permanent homes for children in foster care. Leading Wendy's forward is a seasoned senior leadership team that drives the brand's vision and strategic growth. At the helm is our President and Chief Executive Officer, Kirk Tanner, supported by a strong group of chief officers, including Ken Cook, Liliana Esposito, John Min, Collie O'Brien, Lindsay Radkowski, Matt Spezard, Abigail Pringle, and EJ Wunsch. Here we have Wendy's business model canvas, which outlines the key building blocks of their operations and how they deliver value to customers. Starting with key activities, Wendy's focuses on sourcing high-quality ingredients, restaurant food preparation, product innovation, digital ordering systems, marketing, and strong franchise management support. These activities ensure consistency, innovation, and customer satisfaction. Their key partners include franchisees, food and ingredient suppliers, marketing agencies, digital solutions providers, and delivery service partners, each playing a vital role in scaling and maintaining quality. For key resources, Wendy's relies heavily on intellectual property, digital infrastructure, their franchise network, and human and physical resources to support day-to-day operations and innovations. The value proposition for Wendy's is: Wendy's offers high-quality, fresh, and tasty food options, differentiating itself in a competitive market by emphasizing both quality and flavor. In terms of customer relationships, Wendy's engages customers through loyalty programs like Wendy's Rewards, social media engagement, personalized marketing campaigns, and direct feedback mechanisms to improve experiences. Wendy's primarily targets millennials and Gen Z. Psychographically, they appeal to budget-conscious diners, those who enjoy eating out, and increasingly health-conscious consumers. Distribution channels include company-owned and franchise locations, their mobile app, online ordering platforms, and third-party delivery services, ensuring accessibility and convenience. Looking at the cost structure, major expenses include food and labor costs, advertising, franchise expenses, system optimizations, and general operations. Wendy's also incurs costs related to innovation and cloud technology. Finally, revenue streams come from company-operated restaurant sales, franchise royalties and fees, rent income from franchises, and contribution to advertising funds. Overall, Wendy's business model emphasizes operational efficiency, customer loyalty, and adaptability to market trends while keeping a strong brand and franchise system at the core. Moving forward, let's delve into the PESTLE analysis the team conducted for Wendy's. For political factors, the ongoing trade war between the US and China and Trump's recent implementation of global tariffs could potentially increase the cost of important ingredients, packaging, and equipment. This could lead to higher operational costs and ultimately the pressure to adjust pricing on Wendy's products. Furthermore, the recent news regarding the Department of Homeland Security revoking legal status for nearly a million migrants who came to the US during the Biden administration led to roughly 985,000 people being forced to self-deport. This can potentially lead to a reduction in available labor, particularly in lower-wage jobs common in the quick-service restaurant industry. For economic factors, the consistent growth of the quick-service restaurant industry could mean more opportunities for revenue growth and market expansion for businesses in the industry. This can support Wendy's goals for global expansion and investments in innovation and product development. For social factors, social trends leading towards an increase in emphasis on food service quality, increase on busy lifestyles, and higher health consciousness among consumers encourages continued innovation in product quality, service delivery, and customer service for Wendy's. For technological factors, the increased adoption of business automation can encourage Wendy's to implement smart ordering systems, kitchen technology, and digital tools to improve efficiency in their operations. If unable to adopt, the company can significantly lag behind competitors. For legal factors, developments in food safety and GMO regulations forces strict compliance to avoid legal issues with the government. This requires Wendy's to enforce stricter standard protocols in product development, food handling, supply procurement, and staff training, ultimately leading to higher costs. Lastly, for environmental factors, the increasing pressure on companies to adopt sustainability and maintain a low carbon footprint can be largely attributed to the worsening environmental conditions brought by climate change. This pushes Wendy's to reduce waste, emissions, and generally environmental impact, raising operational costs for the business. For the value chain analysis, Wendy's primary and secondary activities will be tackled as to further support our business model canvas. Firstly is the inbound logistics. Wendy's collaborates with Quality Supply Chain Co-op Incorporated or QSCC, a cooperative formed with its franchisees. QSCC manages contracts for procuring and distributing food, packaging, and equipment across the US and Canada. This centralized approach ensures consistent supply and leverages collective purchasing power for cost efficiency. QSCC also monitors inventory levels to minimize obsolescence throughout the supply chain. Proceeding with operations, as of January 1, 2023, Wendy's operates 7,095 restaurants globally, with a mix of company-operated and franchised locations. The company emphasizes quality assurance by conducting regular audits of processing facilities and restaurant operations to maintain high standards in food safety and service. And then for outbound logistics, Wendy's relies on a network of independent distributors to deliver products to its restaurants. For instance, one main distributor services approximately 67% of Wendy's US restaurants, ensuring that fresh ingredients and supplies reach each location promptly. Moving on to marketing and sales, Wendy's invests in national and local advertising through various media channels, including television, radio, and digital platforms. The company maintains national advertising funds to support promotional campaigns, with contributions required from both company-operated and franchised restaurants. Lastly, for services. In Wendy's value chain framework, the service component includes key post-sales activities that enhance customer satisfaction and loyalty. The newsletter subscription keeps customers engaged with updates on promotions and new offerings. Customer care and support ensures prompt assistance through various channels, strengthening trust and encouraging repeat visits. The customer feedback system collects insights through surveys and reviews, enabling continuous improvement based on real customer experiences. Together, these services play a vital role in sustaining customer relationships and reinforcing brand value. For the supporting activities, we will begin with the firm infrastructure. Wendy's restaurant system allows its physical expansion to different parts of the continent and across the globe. Also, part of it is its data infrastructure, which is reliable for data gathering and data-driven insights. For human resource management, as of January 1, 2023, Wendy's employs approximately 92,000 individuals, focusing on creating career development for them under a program regime for training, upholding the right benefits and sufficient compensation, and to harbor intrinsic altruism to do their best. The organization wanted to forces a community, a workplace that is safe and prioritizes both individual and collective well-being. Next, we have technology development. Wendy's uses a mix of third-party and proprietary software to manage point of sale, kitchen operations, and other front and back-end functions in its restaurants. The company has heavily invested in technology to enhance restaurant stability, ERP systems, mobile apps, loyalty programs, data infrastructure, and delivery partnerships in the US and Canada. These digital tools are key to improving user experience, enabling personalized marketing, and meeting customer expectations for speed, customization, and convenience. Wendy's also partners with a global cloud provider to drive innovation through data-driven insights, operations, and enhanced customer experience. Lastly, the procurement also reflects the inbound logistics because through QSCC, Wendy's manages. Lastly, the procurement also reflects the inbound logistics because through QSCC, Wendy's manages procurement contracts, ensuring quality and cost effectiveness in sourcing food, packaging, and equipment. Trademark maintenance and renewal are essential to protecting Wendy's brand assets, which are directly tied to the company's value and market presence. As such, they represent a strategic procurement item in the VCA to ensure continued legal rights and brand integrity. By integrating these primary support By integrating these primary and support systems, Wendy's effectively delivers high-quality products and services, reinforcing its position as a leader in the quick-service restaurant industry. Wendy's employs a differentiation strategy in which they focus on delivering high-quality food made from fresh ingredients at a great value, setting them apart from other competitors in the fast food industry. Their approach has three characteristics: quality offerings, innovation, and customer experience. Firstly, Wendy's emphasizes the use of fresh ingredients in their products, especially their square hamburgers. This makes them known for their quality and freshness. Secondly, Wendy's is actively working to update their menu and launch new products to cater to the changing preferences of consumers, positioning itself as a brand that is focused on responding to customer needs and trends. Lastly, Wendy's is dedicated to enhancing the overall experience of their customers in terms of service and innovation. In essence, Wendy's seeks to provide differentiated products made with fresh ingredients at great value, while focusing on customer experience. As for its scope, Wendy's maintains a broad geographical reach, operating over 7,000 restaurants worldwide. These are located in North America and an increasing presence in international markets. Their plans to globally expand show their commitment to tap into various markets to increase their global presence and customer base. Their product line, on the other hand, is narrow, primarily focusing on their signature offerings like hamburgers, chicken sandwiches, salads, and sides. Although they sometimes introduce new items or limited time offers, their core has remained the same. This focus allows the company to differentiate itself through quality rather than an extensive array of food options. Wendy's employs several functional strategies to achieve its growth objectives. First, Wendy's emphasizes the quality of its food by using fresh ingredients and updating its core menu items with a commitment to provide high-quality food at great value. The company also prioritized delivering an exceptional customer experience by improving operational efficiencies in both physical stores and digital platforms by integrating technology. Moreover, Wendy's aims to accelerate global unit growth, focused on entering new markets while strengthening its presence in existing ones. Also, they continue to invest in technology with the aim to enhance customer experience in terms of digital ordering, loyalty programs, and improving overall service delivery. Furthermore, Wendy's employs targeted marketing strategies to promote its brand and menu offerings effectively, including collaborations and curated branding efforts. Lastly, Wendy's focuses on building strong partnerships with franchisees, providing support and resources for maintaining quality and operational standards across its locations. The VRIO analysis indicates that Wendy's brand reputation, built on fresh, famous food and customer trust, alongside its human resources, intellectual property, and cybersecurity strategy, are valuable, rare, costly to imitate, and organized to capture value, representing key sustained competitive advantages. However, while valuable, Wendy's proprietary recipes and physical resources may not be rare or costly to imitate, and its R&D, while important, must consistently produce unique, defensible innovations to provide a true advantage. Wendy's revenue continues to rise as the years go on. However, the year-on-year growth on total revenue is slowly plateauing. Sales take up a large portion of Wendy's revenue with 41% in 2024, while franchise royalty revenue and fees sits at 28%. Wendy's International is also growing rapidly, with a 22% growth between 2020 and 2024, although Wendy's US still makes up most of its revenue with 83%. Moving on to our liquidity ratios, Wendy's liquidity remains strong, with a current ratio peaking at 2.73 in 2022, before gradually declining to 1.86 in 2024. Declining trend is due to the company using more current assets to cover its operations. For solvency ratios, the debt ratio climbed from 54.05% in 2020 to 64.30% in 2024, indicating a higher leverage and potential risk. Supporting this, the liabilities ratio also increased to 94.85%. Wendy's is increasingly financing its growth through debt. Despite economic shifts, operating margin remained stable, fluctuating between 15.53% and 17.51%. This reflects operational efficiency and resilience in managing input costs, with COGS stable around 35%. Return on equity, however, surged from 21.94% to 68.30% over the 5 years. This impressive gain is largely due to increased leverage and sustained profitability, showing strong returns for equity investors. In operating performance ratios, inventory turnover more than doubled in 2022. It slightly declined since, but remains strong at 15.80 in 2024. This suggests strong demand for forecasting and reduced waste. While Wendy's has moved out of the distress zone since 2022, it still remains in the gray area. The company's Z-score peaked in 2022 at 1.57, but has been declining slightly since then, ending at 1.25 in 2024. Finally, the DuPont analysis reveals that while net profit margin is stable at 8.65%, meaning healthy profitability, and asset turnover is improving, Wendy's leverage is extremely high and is the main driver of elevated ROE. Thus, Wendy's stellar ROE is heavily dependent on financial leverage. This boosts shareholder returns but significantly increases financial risk. Wendy's has demonstrated several key strengths that positioned it well for continued success. One of the most notable is its rapidly increasing return on equity, which highlights the company's ability to generate growing value for shareholders. Financially, Wendy's maintains a strong liquidity position, allowing it to weather short-term obligations and reinvest in its operations confidently. Strategically, the brand is seeing momentum in its international expansion efforts, establishing a growing presence in new markets abroad. This is supported by high operational efficiency. The company consistently maximizes its assets, inventory, and fixed resources to drive revenue. Much of this success stems from its robust franchisee network, which provides a scalable and capital-light model that fuels growth without significantly increasing overhead. Brand equity remains one of Wendy's most powerful assets. Decades of consistent quality, memorable campaigns, and a unique brand voice have built strong customer loyalty. More recently, the company has doubled down on its appeal to younger generations through Gen Z-focused marketing, leveraging humor, digital platforms, and culturally relevant messaging to connect with the next generation of fast food consumers. However, Wendy's also faces several strategic weaknesses that could limit its long-term competitiveness. Product-wise, Wendy's has relatively low diversification. Its menu remains focused on a core set of offerings, which increases vulnerability to changing consumer tastes. Moreover, many of Wendy's food and beverage products are easily imitable, as its research and development, both of which reduce its competitive moat. The physical design and layout of Wendy's locations are also highly standardized, limiting adaptability to different cultural or regional preferences. Perhaps most critically, the company's aggressive growth and shareholder return strategies have been heavily financed through debt. This over-reliance on debt elevates financial risk, especially in a rising interest rate environment or during periods of slowed cash flow. If not carefully managed, this could erode some of the financial resilience Wendy's has built.